please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Okay, 30 points on the Nifty right now, 10,197. So it's steady after that initial surge, which took the Nifty up almost 70 points at one point in the day. Let's see if we can revisit anywhere close to those levels later in the day. There's 2 hours of trading still left to go. Numbers for the day are starting to come in finally. Bajaj Finance reported numbers just as we before we took that break, and I think Colgate is awaited now. Sumira, good afternoon.
Hi Prashant, good afternoon to you as well. In fact, on Bajaj Finance, let's get straight to Abhishek, who joins in now with a quick review. Abhishek.
Very good set of numbers coming in, Sumera. If you look at the AUM growth is at 38%. Now that is on the back of disbursement growing by 48%. Now what has caused this 38% growth is largely the rural market. Rural book grew by 137%. The consumer finance book, which forms a substantial portion of the book, actually has grown by more than 42%. The SME is the only laggard book which has grown by just 18%. Now 18% is strong, but if you look at the other books, that has been on the laggard side. Asset quality in check, gross NPA at 1.68% versus 1.7% in the previous quarter, and overall strong set of numbers. They have also raised capital of 4,500 crores. They're taking their tier 1 ratio now close to about 20% levels. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks very much for that. With that, in fact, let's get to the technicals of trade. Then Ashwini Gujral joins in with his afternoon trading ideas. Hi, Ashwini. Good afternoon to you. What are the stocks that you'd want to focus on now?
Well, overall flat market, so just some individual stocks moving. JM Financial is a buy with a stop of 170, target of 185. I think Federal Bank has broken through 120, so that is a buy with a stop of 116, target of 130. And HUL continues to move up. That is a buy with a stop of 1260, target of 1320.
Ashwini, do you think the next 2 hours market can go back to the high point of the day?
Unlikely, because you've had a fairly sharp rally. The issue is that from 9,700 to about 10,250, it's been quite a bit of rally. So if nothing else, market is kind of exhausted, the bulls are kind of exhausted, so you could spend a couple of days here before you make the next move. So I would think the odds of being a little range bound are much higher than taking one direction or the other.
Stocks like Bajaj Finance, etc., which just reported numbers, Ashwini?
Well, I think it's fallen post the numbers, so these are good times to buy into such stocks. So Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, even if one quarter is not really up to the mark, these guys generally tend to catch up. So you want to buy into all of these result type declines.
Did you put out a call on Bharti today? I mean, it's up 10% 2 days. Okay, all right. And idea anything at all? Because that is also moving. One wonders why though.
See, apparently, telecom as a group seems to be moving. So that way, Bharti probably is heading now towards 500, 520. It's crossing multi-year highs. And similarly, Idea from the lows, chances are will get to 90, 92, and then maybe further. Maybe the market is assuming that since there's consolidation, rates can go up, etc. These things tend to start getting priced in much before they actually happen. So I think somewhere the telecom sector seems to be bottoming out.
Just two names. One is PVR, which saw that, it's actually spurted in the last 1 hour on Friday. It closed about 20-30 rupees off the high on Friday itself, and today it's down a bit more. Though I think it's still about 20-25 rupees higher than Thursday's close. How does PVR look? And then, if you can weigh in on Karnataka Bank, which again moved on results on Friday.
See, PVR had a rally from 1140 to about 1400. So again, some consolidation before it moves on, but I would think it's bottomed out. It should not fall below 1300, 1320. So these declines are declines to be bought. Similarly, Karnataka Bank again seems to have bottomed given results of Federal Bank, etc. I think smaller banks could have a bit of a rally. So again, this decline today, chances are is a decline worth buying. So keep a stop, say around 150, 152, and from here you should see levels of 175, 180.
All right, Ashwini, thanks very much for that. I think Kansai Nerolac has also reported numbers. On the bottom line, it looks to be in line with what we were expecting. We don't have a poll for it, but the ICICI Securities estimate that we had pegged the profit number to come in at 143 odd crores. So 144 on that is in line with what we were expecting. This is generally a seasonally weak quarter for paint companies. But we have to see what's the effect of the GST related restocking as well as pre-Diwali channel sales. So on account of that, we'll wait for some more color on these numbers. Importantly, the decorative volume paint growth was seen at about 10 to 11%. So I think those are some of the details that we will await from the company for now. But I think the stock has seen just a tad bit of.
A company which has been buzzing in sort of trade is Eon Electric, and the stock will come up on your screen. I mean, it is up 10% today. This month it's up 43%, and if you look at from the beginning of the year, it's basically doubled. So Eon at 112 odd rupees, doubled since January of this year. We have the management with us. Mr. Vinay Mahindru is Executive Director of Eon Electric. He's now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Mahindru, thanks very much for your time. Good to have you here. To begin with, could you just give us a little bit of background. I mean, what all segments do you operate in? Which are the most important ones? And how much of the revenues comes from each segment?
Yeah, our major segment is lighting, LED lighting. We specialize in LED lighting, both on the consumer side and professional side, for LED being the major one. Apart from that, we do fans and wires in that market.
LED would be more than 50% of your revenues?
Yeah, it's close to about 62-63%. Yeah.
Okay, and what about fans and wires?
Fans and wires are fans make up about 15% of the whole thing, and wires would be the other 15%. So 15% each as of now. In the
LED business, which is 62% of your revenues, how much is B2C and how much is B2B?
About 61% on last count, but 60% is B2C and 40% is B2B.
And 40%, which is B2B, is mostly all government? Because you said it's
all government. Actually, we are partnering with Energy Efficiency Services Limited, who are converting all the streetlights across the country into, LED streetlights. And
what is the government order book right now? That 40%, yeah.
Yeah, our current order book is about 40 crores, and there's more adding on every month.
40 crore from the government, right?
From the government, yeah.
Which is that 40% of the revenues, basically.
Yeah.
And, I mean, is there any visibility? What is the total?
Yeah, so this year, the government is going to be installing about 5 million streetlights. 2 million have been tendered so far, through which we are getting the business, and 3 million more are going to be tendered between now and March. So we hope to get at least 10 to 15% share of that. So I think we are. Apart from that, we are doing solar streetlights for government for the Ajay program, where solar streetlights are being installed across the country in all villages. So we are also participating in that. So we are doing business in both the sides, in urban areas as well as in solar street lights. And there's enough order book, and more orders are coming in these.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Mahindru. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
For FY17, you had posted sales just shy of that 200 crore odd mark. What's the outlook now for FY18? I'm not going to press you on Q2 because we're already in the earnings season. But what do you hope to achieve in the full year 18?
Yeah, so we are looking at a 30% growth coming from the past year at least. And if some of these orders, the new business, government business prepones, probably it could be better than that.
Okay. And in terms of any rejig of the segments, I think currently more than 50% is coming in from LED. Any sort of rejig planned in terms of what's the contribution to sales, or what might be a fresh thrust area?
See, we currently are working on 2 more projects. These products will unfold in the first early part of next year, which are going to bring in new revenue. So it's a new segment which the company knows for long, but we are going to be, in a way, coming back into that. We were selling switchgear about, in 2010 we sold that business, and we are rejigging ourselves to come back into switchgear as our non-compete is over now, after we sold that business.
Sure.
And that will add additional revenue.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a bit. I think in the AGM, Mr. Mahindra, you had said that you will do turnover of 300 crores, if I have the number correct. So you did about 185 crores, right, last year?
We did about 185 crores.
And you said
185 plus some, so about 192 crores we did last year.
Okay.
And we are, see, the prospects totally depend upon the ESL, how much of tendering they do. So we are looking at least a 30% growth. This could go up, and the subsequent year will be 300 crores, the year next to this. Definitely, yeah.
Okay, just one more question on this LED lighting. I mean, what's the competition from low-priced Chinese products here?
No longer. I think India today is, especially with the large buying and of LED bulbs in India, India has become a hub for LED activity, and prices today, Chinese cannot compete with Indian prices, either on quality or price. Both ways, I think India is much ahead of them, and now India will become a large export center. So in the coming years, we are looking at a large export market developing out of India for LED lights.
Fair enough. This switchgear business, right, which you had sold and the non-compete is over, you'll have to put up a facility to manufacture this?
Yes, we will be putting up a facility.
How much will you need to, I mean, what will be the capital employed here?
I think it's too premature at this moment to talk about the capital. We are on the product design side yet, but I would say still in the range of about, initially for about 20 crores, because we have the factories already. It'll be more on the machinery and tooling and product development. So it'll be in the range of about 20 crores, which will happen next year.
20 crores, and you already have the cash, right? I mean, which you got as a part of the sale proceeds when you sold the business.
So that's all going into the working capital to help us grow the company, and if more money is needed, we'll make it available.
I think in the AGM, you'd also said that you want to make lithium batteries for electric cars.
So we are already into lithium-ion batteries for last 5 years for mobile telephony.
Yes.
In that place, the market is changing, and we are seriously examining the work on lithium-ion batteries for not only electric cars, but a lot of other applications where lead-acid batteries are used. This year itself, in our lighting alone, we've used 4 megawatt of lithium-ion batteries in solar lighting. So lithium-ion is already playing a role in what we are doing in solar lighting. For the first time ever in India, the solar lighting has been ordered by the government with lithium-ion.
Right. I mean, you need cobalt to manufacture this, right?
No, we don't. Actually, we don't manufacture the actual cells. Actual cells are manufactured globally by 3 or 4 players, is Panasonic, Samsung, etc. And we create a battery out of the cells.
Okay.
So we use different combination of cells. For example, Tesla car has 7,000 cells in it. So you make a combination of series and parallel and make whatever voltage or capacity is needed to run that particular product. So we can customize that. We have good experience of doing that in the last 5 years.
Got that. I was just asking because I think cobalt powder prices are at all-time highs globally on the back of that.
Yes, they are. But I think more and more work which is happening on the chemistry of lithium-ion batteries, the cobalt content is decreasing drastically.
Okay, that should help. Thanks very much, Mr. Mahindra. Appreciate you joining in, and thanks for providing us a fair bit of clarity on the business per se. So under 200 crores in top line last year, and they're saying that they should do 30%.
Yeah, minimum of 30%. The market, well, just about clutching on to some sort of gain. So 10,200 on the Nifty. The Sensex too has come off quite a bit from those record levels. So now just about a gain of 100 odd points. The mid caps, which at one point were in step with the frontline indices, that index has come off sharply. So just about managing to hold on to slim gains. And the Nifty Bank, which is in the red, so struggling to actually stay along the flat line, but some bit of pressure there, although it is off of the morning lows as well. Mindtree is a stock that you want to keep on your radar as well. The stock currently at the high point of trade. But on that note, we're about to wrap up then on mid-cap radar. Do stay tuned. Your stocks comes up next.